Hello and welcome to the new video. Today we're going to take a look at all move updates for Season 18 of the Go Battle League. And we're going to rank them all. My voice is still a little bit, destroyed, but it's going to be fine. We're going to take a look at all move updates. We're going to start off with all the new moves slash buffed move, which is going to be, for example, here the Awkward Tail. Awkward Tail got +5 power, which is going to be really cool for a lot of Pokemon. Only Gudra got this added, but like there are a lot of Pokemon like the Quillfish, which is going to really appreciate this move update, going to make this a little bit stronger. Same update goes for Cross Chop as well. Cross Chop got from 50 to 55 damage as well, same as Awkward Tail, same energy, basically clone of each other. Both going to be very cool for each other as well, like Cross Chop, something like an Obstagoon or like a Machamp going to definitely appreciate. And then we're going to have Psywave. We only know for those moves, like for a lot of moves that we don't like really know everything about, but like we know that this is going to have 3 power. Very likely it's going to be a 1-turn fast move with that. I don't really think it's going to be a 2-turn fast move, because with that you would most likely gonna end up with like a Psycho Cut clone, which doesn't really make too much sense. So it's most likely like 3 power. I hope it's 4 energy. I doubt it. I think it's going to be 3 energy, and with it, it's going to be most likely pretty mediocre move, so I'm most likely going to put this. We don't know about this directly yet, but I'm going to put it into C tier. From what we know so far, at least, it doesn't really look too great. If it gets 4 energy, it's going to be a great move to have, but everything else is going to make this move basically unusable. So yeah, going to be a little bit tricky. Like if it's 3 and 3, which is like the most common one, this would be a Water Gun clone, and so yeah, I don't know, like Water Gun is not really that common as well, for a good reason, and Psywave most likely would not be as common either. Sand Attack, very likely going to be a clone of Fury Cutter, so it's going to be 2 damage, 1 turn, and 4 energy, which is actually fairly decent. It's going to be a little bit less energy than something a Mud Shot, but does a little bit more damage, and is a 1-turn fast move, which is kind of preferred anyway. So Sand Attack for me, it definitely like a B tier pick for sure. Brick Break, gonna be a little bit more expensive by 5 more energy, very likely. We don't know directly yet, but it's going to be very likely just 5 extra energy, so 40 energy, 40 damage, and guaranteed debuff chance for the opponent's defense. A little bit tricky to play, I would say, for the Pokemon that learn right now. I still would put into a B tier. Don't know how good it's going to be. Could be an A tier pick as well, but we don't know about it. Metal Sound currently has also 3 damage in the code. We don't know what's going to be. I would imagine it's going to be a Mudshot clone though. So Metal Sound would be most likely something like a 2-turn fast move, and so would most likely put it somewhere into the B tier as well for the Pokemon learned right now. It can be very decent, but like it doesn't really have to be. Water Pulse, we don't know the energy cost yet. I would imagine it's going to be 50 energy, but again, we don't really know it. But the power is going to get buffed from 70 to 80 power, which is going to be very cool for it. Again, I don't think it's going to be too impactful, to be fair. I'm going to put it into C tier. I don't think it's going to be the greatest move ever. If it gets 45 energy, it will be a very solid move, but otherwise it's going to be most likely a pretty mediocre move. Shadowbone got buffed by 5 damage as well to 80. Again, it only is going to impact 1 Pokemon, which is going to be a lone Marowak, and I'm just going to put it into the B tier because it doesn't really do too much anyway. So we're going to move on to the move updates now. I have all the move updates on the right side, so that's most likely why you're going to see me look to the right a lot of times. We're going to have Draining Kiss on the Curlia. This Pokemon is just not really great. No way, Niantic always buffs this Pokemon every single season. I have no idea why. Only for Curlia, doesn't really make too much sense. We're going to have Water Pulse for the Araquanid. For me, a side grade from what I've seen so far with the 50 energy that I calculated it with. Mostly not better than Bubble Beam, because Bubble Beam is a better bait move anyway, and you don't regenerate energy too fast anyway as well. So for me, would most likely be a B tier pick there for sure. We're going to have the Metal Sound on the Bronzong. I go based on Mudshot clone. If it's not a Mudshot clone, it's going to be of course different. For a Mudshot clone, it's going to be a little bit of an upgrade for it, so I would put it into A tier. Actually, Bronzong would have a little bit more potential. We have Sand Attack. Yeah, like those Pokemon just don't really have a lot of play in general. We're going to have next Brick Break buff and adding as well for the Crabrawler and the Crabominable. They still don't have a good fast move, so they're going to have to be into the D tier. If it gets ever counter, maybe it's going to be better. We're going to have Mudshot on the Diglett here on the normal one, which I still kind of have to put pretty low. I think Dugtrio has a little bit more of potential, but still it's not going to be a good Pokemon in general. We're going to have for the lone variants, you have Sand Attack for them added again. Those are not going to be the greatest Pokemon. Like it already, I think it has a Mud Slap right now, which maybe is going to be an upgrade with the new Sand Attack, so I can put it a little bit higher, but it's not going to be the best Pokemon ever to use either. First, S-tier pick is going to be Empoleon with Steel Wing. This Pokemon going to be very cool with this move, especially now where you have the Shadow variant available as well. In my opinion, one of the coolest upgrades in this move update today. So definitely something to look forward to. Moving on, we're going to have Feraligatr. Feraligatr gets Shadow Claw. By far the best move update of them all. Gonna be great in the Great League as well as Ultra League. A must-have to get. Like, this Pokemon going to be amazing, so definitely something that you want to get. I also suggested this change like quite often, so that's going to be an interesting one there. We're going to have the Flygon getting Sand Attack. Has a side grade potential over Mudshot. Could be between A and B tier. I'm gonna put into low A tier just because I don't think we're gonna get too many Pokemon in that one. We're gonna get Furfrou, getting access to Sand Attack. Actually, this Pokemon looks better than I expected when I looked at it. And I'm gonna put it into the B tier. Has great coverage of Surf and Grass Knot. And so this Pokemon will be kinda similar to something like a Mew or whatever as a normal type, which is kinda funny. But not going to be the best Pokemon ever either, but it's gonna be a fun one to use. Another S tier pick for me is Psycho Cut on Gallade. This Pokemon has access to Leaf Blade as well as Close Combat. 2 great charge moves. 2 moves that you're gonna get to pretty fast, especially with the Psycho Cut. It's going to be amazing, especially for the Shadow variant as well. Moving on, we're gonna get Earthquake on the Gastrodon. Gastrodon is not going to want to have Earthquake at all. I'm just gonna put into the lowest tier. Earth Power is just better, it learns it already. No reason to give it Earthquake. Thing is a legacy move currently, you don't really want this anyway. But yeah, we're going to have Golem next. Golem is going to get Mudshot again. Interestingly enough, Golem is going to be a little bit lower than the other one here, which is going to be the Graveler. Graveler has access to legacy move Rock Slide, plus it's now Mudshot as well, of course, and Dig, which is going to be cool. So like this Pokemon has a little bit more potential in my opinion. Graveler going to be an interesting Pokemon, kinda want to try it out. I think it's kinda a little bit of a hidden gem, but it's not going to be the greatest Pokemon ever either. Going to lose against Pokemon like Whiscash, Gligar, most of the Pokemon that you face anyway, so it's not going to be the best Pokemon ever. High up tier, high in the A tier here for sure is going to be the Goodra with Awkward Tail. Awkward Tail gonna give it way better fast pressure plus good coverage plus already has Power Whip. It's a really good Pokemon. Goodra definitely something that you should try out. We're gonna see the update on Brick Break for the Hakoma-O, which I really enjoy as well for this Pokemon. It's going to be the best Pokemon to use for the Brick Break update. We're gonna still put into A tier, high up A tier though. This Pokemon was already amazing prior, and now it's going to be even better. Herdier, yeah, you could put a little bit into maybe down into C tier now with Sand Attack as well. Not really too great. We can basically make the entire line down here as well. We're going to have the Bishop, which you can put into the same tier, and of course the Pre-Evolution, which you can put into the D tier. And moving on to the next one, we're going to have here the Hippowdon and the Hippopotas, I think it's called. Hippopotas I would still put into the D tier, but Hippowdon actually is a really interesting Pokemon. I feel like especially for like Ultra League as well as the Master Premier Cup. It really benefits from the move Sand Attack, so I would definitely put it high up. Cool Pokemon for sure. Next, we're gonna have the Kling family. We can already put the pre-evolutions pretty low. I don't think they're going to be too great. Maybe Kling Klang thingy here, like this middle one, can have a little bit of potential. Same as the like last evolution. They already learned Thunder Shock if it's going to be a basic clone of this, but in Metal Sound, it's going to be just Stab. Not going to change the world for them, but might be a little bit of a better upgrade. Inkay with Psywave, most likely unplayable. We're going to have Bullet Seed on Lily, which I feel like is kind of funny because they can run it in the Great League, but it's not going to be the greatest, but it's going to be interesting. The Brick Break addition to the Hakoma-O is going to be more of a side grade. I would put into the B tier. I think still that you really want to run Close Combat instead because it's going to give you a really great nuke, so I don't think everybody, like anyone, really wants to run Brick Break on it, but it really depends. We're going to have Crocodile, going to have definitely a little bit of a benefit from Brick Break, but still going to be a pretty trashy Pokemon, sadly. LilyNiRiain does not want to run Sand Attack. You have Shadow Claw. Shadow Claw is way better than Sand Attack. There's no reason for you to run Sand Attack on this Pokemon. Moving on, Lunatone with a new move, Psywave. Might be a little bit better than Confusion, but currently on paper, like you need to have 4 energy on Psywave, otherwise this Pokemon is going to be still trash. We're going to have here, Yeah, basically, I don't think that metal sound makes any difference for the magnet line. I'm just gonna put them into the C tier just as like a side grade, but I think Volt Switch is just clearly better than metal sound. Unless metal sound is also like a 1-turn fast move with like 4 energy generation and like 3 damage, then it would be better, but otherwise it's going to be pretty trashy. We're going to have Melamar. Again, you need to have 4 energy on Psywave, otherwise it's going to be trash. Same goes for Miss Magius and like, yeah, the Mist Reavers, like both of them. He would learn Psywave now as well, but it's not going to be great. Mr. Mime going to be pretty low as well. We're going to have the Sandshrew, which can use the Sand Attack, and Mudshot, both going to be kinda equal, depending really on the Pokemon. You can argue for either. Yeah, I'm gonna put like Sandshrew as the Sandslash as well as the Panel Sand into the B tier. Both of them gonna get the new move of Sand Attack, while yeah, like they already have Mudshot, of course, and Mudshot is going to generate energy faster, but not going to do as much damage, so, like, it really depends on the Pokemon. Both of them are valid options. Sandtag, I can see has some play on those Pokemon, but I don't think the Pokemon itself have play, so it's going to be a little bit tricky to judge. Next one, we're going to have Sork. Sork getting Brick Break, not gonna change anything for this Pokemon, still going to be a trash Pokemon to use. Lunatone, I still have to put you low as well, unless again, if Psywave generates 4 energy, it's going to be better, but I doubt this is going to be the case. For the Staraptor, you can say it's a little bit of a side grade with a Sand Attack being a 1-turn fast move, can be kind of funny, but the rest not going to be great. Terraria and the Pre-Evolution going to be into D tier. We're going to have the Starmie next getting Psy Beam, not Psy Wave, which is already a legacy move on this Pokemon anyway, and this Pokemon is still garbage. Throw, still garbage, needs a bit of fast move. The, yeah, Vibrava as well as the, forgot the name, Trapinch, both gonna get the fast move, but they all have Mudshot anyway, or Dragon Breath, and, like, it's going to be better for them, most likely not to use the move. Maybe for the Trapinch it might be a little bit of a side grid, but again, those Pokemon not going to be great. Zigzagoon, you don't need this Pokemon at all. And for the Wormadam Trash, I actually think that this Pokemon has a lot of potential with the new move of Metal Sound if it's going to be a Mudshot clone, because before you're running Confusion, which is not Stab, and also does not really be the greatest fast move anyway, so I think this Pokemon has a little bit more potential. But this is going to be my list for the move update. It's a little bit of a shorter one anyway. Let me know in the comment section what you think about this one. Definitely the S tier Pokemon look really cool, but afterwards there's not really a lot else to show for this update. But yeah, that's going to be my list for it. Hope you enjoy this one. Again, I'm a little bit sick still and my voice is not really back yet, but hope you still enjoy it. See you then.